very good morning and welcome to yet another edition of the YES101's Visual Radio this morning. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Abdin. We start off with a look at your headlines.
Newsfirst headline.
In headlines, Police and Election Commission to hold crucial meeting. Iran launches ballistic missile attack on Israel. And in sports, Saudi steps down as New Zealand Test captain Latham to lead in India. And in your top story this morning, a meeting between the Sri Lanka Police and Election Commission officials is scheduled to take place today. The primary focus of this discussion will be on security measures for the upcoming parliamentary elections. Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police, who is in charge of election-related activities, along with a team of police officers, is expected to participate in the meeting. The meeting will address the overall security plan for the general election, including the protection of district secretariats where candidate nominations are being accepted. Additionally, strategies to prevent violations of election laws will be a key topic of discussion with the aim of reaching consensus on necessary actions. In parallel, the National Election Commission is also set to convene today. In more local news, a high-level IMF team led by Krishna Srinivasan, Director of the Asia-Pacific Department, will be visiting Colombo today until the 4th October, according to an IMF spokesperson. The delegation will meet with President Anura Kumar Dissanayake and the new economic team to discuss the latest economic developments and economic reforms under Sri Lanka's economic program supported by the IMF. The IMF team will communicate at the end of the visit, the spokesperson confirmed. Now, at the same time, the new Sri Lankan government announced the need to revisit the IMF-supported program. By the end of this month, the governor of the central bank, the finance secretary, and the presidency in economic affairs and finance consultants will travel to New York to discuss the structural aspects of the program with the IMF. Minister Vijitha Herath clarified that contrary to previous claims by the former government, no final agreement has been reached with the international sovereign bond holders. Although the talks had advanced to the final stages, a conclusive agreement was not achieved, while the final decision on this matter is expected to be made during the upcoming meetings at the IMF headquarters. The minister reiterated the government's consistent criticism of the method of restructuring domestic debt, a position they continue to uphold, while this issue will be a key point in future discussions. The government will also seek necessary reports from the Justice Ministry to ensure the legal framework supports this process. And up next is international news.
International news.
In news overseas, Iran has fired a barrage of ballistic missiles at Israel, saying the attack is in response to the recent killings of Hamas, Hezbollah and Islamic Revolutionary Guard co-leaders. Israel has promised to retaliate, with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warning Tehran that it made a big mistake and will pay for it. Now, US President Joe Biden's administration has pledged unwavering support for Israel, while also warning Iran of serious consequences for its attack against the top US ally. Now, Iran says it launched a barrage of missiles at Israel in response to the assassinations of senior Hezbollah, Hamas and Iranian officials, sending Israelis rushing to bomb shelters and raising fears of all-out war in the region. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said the missile attack on Israel was a response to the killing of Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah and the IRGC commander Abbas Nilfaroshan last week, as well as that of the Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh earlier this year. Now, earlier, the IRGC said it launched tens of missiles at Israel and that if Israel retaliated, Tehran's response would be more crushing and ruinous. Israel's state television said 80% of the missiles launched at Israel hit their targets. The firing of missiles came after Israeli troops launched ground raids into Lebanon in the biggest escalation of regional warfare since fighting erupted in Gaza last October. In nearby Jordan, the Civil Aviation Authority said air traffic was temporarily suspended following the attack. The country's Public Security Directorate said its air defenses intercepted missiles and drones. Now, at the same time, Israel has killed more than 41,000 Palestinians in Gaza since last year. And up next is your update on sports.
Sports news.
And in sports, Team Saudi has stepped down as New Zealand's test captain following the series defeat in Sri Lanka and will be replaced by Tom Latham, saying he believes it is in the best interests of the side. Saudi led the team in 14 tests with a record of 6 wins, 6 losses and 2 draws since taking over from Kane Williamson in 2022. Now, New Zealand lost a hard-fought first test in Gaul but was soundly beaten by an innings in the second, making it 4 defeats in a row either side of the Afghanistan fixture, which was abandoned without a ball being bowled. Now, New Zealand's next assignment is a 3-test series in India later this month. And with that, we wrap up this morning edition of the YES101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I've been Shuad Abdin. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.